Good afternoon. It's another week, another edition of your favorite current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. And of course, brand new guest. My name is Ego Sagbolao. I know that you're actually itching to get to know what we'll be dissecting today. Yes, for the women folk, we have something for you specially designed for you today, because the women just celebrated the International Women's Day, and what was actually in the lips of most women is the gender bill. The gender bills which was rejected by the National Assembly. And I commend the women. They protested to the National Assembly, and the House of Representatives did a U-turn. And that, to a large extent, gives credence to the fact that we need to revisit that bill. The National Assembly lawmakers need to revisit that bill. Okay, we'll also be looking at the political imbroglio, the crisis rocking some of our political parties in Nigeria. Don't forget that we are looking forward to the general election next year. You might just think that next year is far away. It's not far away. Politicians don't see it that way. They are already strategizing, holding meetings. And as I speak to you, two major political parties, ruling party, have a fair share of their problem. The major opposition party have theirs as well. So we're looking at this crisis, what does it portend for democracy? And of course, we'll also take a look at the sacking of a Boeing state governor. We'll just quickly look at that as well on the show. Once again, welcome on board. Let me introduce my very distinguished guest on the program today. We have our former labor leader, former chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress in Edo State, and a highly respected clergyman, Reverend Olu Aderigbigbe. Nice to have you on the program today.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay. We have with us the President, United in Democracy, a communications strategist, a pressure group leader. Talking about Andrew Eyigaloha. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay. Also today we have a medical doctor in our midst and a politician. Some persons don't believe that medical doctors can also make very good politicians. We have one in our midst today, Dr. Richard Edosa. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, my guests will dissect the topics that we have today. But let's start with the women. The gender bill, a quick one on what the House of Representatives did. I'll just quickly give you a cursory look at that. The House of Representatives has reversed itself on the three gender-related bills that failed to pass in the ongoing amendment to the 1999 Constitution. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, called for that change and for the votes on the affected bills after the lawmakers held an executive closed-door section on Tuesday. While there are 5 gender bills, those to be revisited are Bill 36, that is to expand the scope of citizenship by registration. Bill 37, to provide for affirmative action for women in political party administration. Bill 38, to provide criteria for qualification to become an indigene of a state in Nigeria. Those dropped are Bill 35, to provide for special seat for women in the national and state houses of assembly, and Bill 68, to give women a quota in the federal and state executive councils or ministerial and positions of commissioners. Gbajabiamila noted that the 3 bills will be included in the second batch of amendment bills to be considered in about 4 weeks' time. Well, don't forget that a lot has happened regarding the bills, and these gender bills, the women are not taking it lightly. The governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, is in the forefront fighting, excuse me, The governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, is in the forefront fighting for women to be recognized and for these bills to be passed. So, let's start with Reverend Olu Adedigbe. Now, do you think that these bills, women should be given position should be fixed for them in terms of political appointments, in terms of National Assembly, House of Assembly? We just know that this is a quota for women. They don't need to struggle, they don't need to fight. We just know that it's created for them. And do you think that's the right way to go?
Well, let me congratulate the women. Especially at this period that we have International Days for Women.
Okay.
It is time, congratulate them because it's now they are waking up from their slumbering. And I will not be surprised too when the president of the country says the women position are in the kitchen. And I'm sure there was condemnation for that statement. And I thank God that a vibrant woman like the First Lady also spoke out her mind. And women, they are very important. And nobody should use them and dump them. In every society, anywhere, even in the church, you have more women than men. Look at the campaigns. Who are the people that you see there? They are the same women. So you cannot, after you won an election, you are now a governor, you are now a president, you feel the women are not important. But thank God that they are aware now. The awareness is just coming up before they have been sleeping. By the time passed, at time of the last mother, Kuti, Itakewa, Florentiwa, and all that. Those are the time the people really fought and women were recognized. But since they are eight, women matter have been equal. But now that they are out, it is time everybody should fight for their right. Their right in the sense that know the type of person they are.
Okay.
They are the strength. Even though the men are the head, the women are the neck. You cannot do without, the head cannot stand alone. So if there is an agreement that women, if we are 11 in a house, women bring 4, if not 5. Because we are the men. It is true the men use their money, but the money cannot work if there's nobody, somersaulting it. The women goes out in numbers to risk their life. Look, take Edo State for example. Anywhere Governor Obaseki travel to campaign, you see the wife there, and you see crowd of women. And the men, they either be in the office or place of work or drinking somewhere. So at this time, it is let us sit down and discuss. If not, their protest is worth it, and any reliable woman or that know what is sought should also start the campaign from their bedroom. They can vote against their husband, and then they will not know how important the women are.
Yeah.
So I commend them, and they should not relent in this matter.
Okay.
Because now that if they have not gone out to protest, I'm sure the speakers of House of Assembly will not have made a U-turn. And if really they mean it, which I'm sure they mean it, some of them will not come back in the coming election. So it's not a threat. Let them continue and start from their husband. And I pray that when they are there, they will not start designing type of group of people.
Okay.
So,
okay. Andrew Egalua, what's your opening remarks on this? Yes.
Well, first and foremost, let me congratulate the women on Women's Day. For the benefit of the public, let us define the concept gender.
Okay.
Gender explains the sexes, which is male or female.
Yes.
That's gender. Then the equality. When you say male or female equality, that means we are trying to make them equal in all ramifications, which I don't think is possible.
Okay.
Right from the Bible. A man was created first, before a woman was created, to support the man. God knows what he was doing, why he did it. Now, when we talk about agitation, there should be a limit to your agitation as a woman. Fine, you can agitate that, rape against women, we don't like that. assault against women, we don't like that. And we talk about women empowerment, fine. Not saying you want to go pari passu with the men, 50-50 in anything the men does. Look at the after effect, the aftermath. There are certain decisions we take. You look at the aftermath of that decision that you're going to take. Yeah. 50 years time, 100 years time, how's it going to look like? You and I know that women, when they are empowered with money, it intoxicates. They lose senses. They can't manage wealth. And if you look at it critically, most of these women that are now empowered, that are now rich, they leave their husbands because they now feel they have money to take care of themselves.
So are you saying it's insecurity? The men have that sense of insecurity. That's the reason
of course.
They are a bit scared about this
yes.
thing.
Because at the end, by the time you now say, oh, 50-50 in everything we do, at times these women, they mellow down for men because, oh, he's my husband. He takes care of me. He pays the bills. Let me relax. But by the time they know they can take care of the bills and all that, you go your way, I go my way. And like what I said, the after effect of some decisions we take is the children. By the time, if you, a child that is brought up by both parents, you will know. A child that is brought up by a single parent, you will know. Most of the heinous crimes that is being perpetrated today in Nigeria, investigate them very well. These are children from broken homes. The mother left the father because she was now rich. I can take care of my son. I can take care of my daughter. Let me tell you, no matter how stupid a man is in the home, when the man is in the house, there's a difference. If you look at your child in the eyes, he knows what you are talking about. But the mother cannot look at that child and know what the mother is trying to pass. That's why I said, look, the after effects of certain decisions. We want gender equality, this and that. You should know your limit. I'm not saying women are not important. If you look at the 35% women inclusion in governance, it's already there. The current ministers, don't we have women there? If you look at Edo State now, the current crop of commissioners, we have about more than 30% of the commissioners we have, they are women. The current PS that were appointed, was it last month or 3 weeks ago, we have women. But to say House of Assembly now, out of 24 members of the House of Assembly, half must be men, half must be women. If you want to play politics, go and campaign your consistency. If you really come. If you make it mandatory, then we're talking about mediocres. Because these seats, 12 must be for women, then you see mediocres coming in. We won't campaign, but we must be there. There's a limit to agitation. Now, there's a group called Plan Organization of Women and Girls. They went to barricade the National Assembly, agitating for gender equality and all that. This same group, didn't they hear the richest woman in Nigeria, Desiani Madueke, that her gold alone worth $40 million, and the houses and everything? Why didn't they go and campaign and barricade National Assembly that, or no, go to British Embassy and tell them that they must extradite this woman to come and face the law? Why didn't they go there? Look, the supposed first speaker, whatever this, the hairdresser, she was sworn into the next day she asked for $600 million for wardrobe allowance. Why didn't they protest that she's a disgrace to women? As we speak, Stella Odwa is in the House Senate. Somebody that bought $600 million for BMW.
She's a suspect.
Fine, protest. Let her leave that place. Then the former minister of Grange that was removed. Women, she took a bribe of 10 million, one-time minister. People have forgotten. So many women have been empowered. They've disgraced themselves. These groups, why didn't they come out to say, oh, these women are disgraced to womanhood? So many atrocities committed by women. Fine, like I said, you can agitate, but you should have your limit. Otherwise, if this thing scales through, then another dimension will not come in. Oh, now, because we're talking about equality now. Before you know it, they will tell you whether you like it or not, whether it's a male child or a female child, the eldest child, if it's a girl, should be a king. Because you are agitating gender equality. We're talking about gender equality here. Let me tell you, the senators and the House of Reps, before they took that decision, we are Africans. Certain things are put into consideration, religion and culture in this part of the world. And most of the votes came from the north. If you work militant women and they now stab and kill their husband because the husband wants to marry another wife, the husband has a girlfriend, which is supposed to be their culture. 4, 5 wives. But because of this orientation they are now having, their culture is being threatened because of gender equality. My brother, there should be a limit to agitation.
Okay, we'll come back to you. But let's get the thought of Dr. Richard. What's your opening remark on this gender-based thing?
Well, I will go straight to the point.
Okay.
Right? I think there's confusion everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
There are different terms and terminologies that have been used to imply different ways of empowering women and protecting women.
Okay.
Let's not forget they are the weaker vessel.
Really?
Yes, I will say that.
Okay.
And I have my reason for saying that.
Yes.
Now, what is gender equality? It's giving equal rights to women as much as the man.
Okay.
Equal rights, equal responsibilities.
Okay.
Are you saying that?
Yes.
Equal opportunities.
Okay.
I don't see anything wrong with giving women equal opportunities like men have. I don't see anything wrong with giving women equal rights like men have. And what does equality means here? If a man can read medicine, a woman should be able to read medicine too. Don't tell the woman to go and read nursing. You are a woman. I have a male child, I have a female child. Both of them are ambitious. They want to be medical doctors. And as a father, I have to take a decision. And I look at the woman and say, you are a woman. Come on, go and read nursing. Yeah, this guy can read medicine. He's a man. That is what we are talking about. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Equal opportunities. Gay child are raped. Sometimes they are ashamed to say it. Why? Why are they ashamed to say it? Have you asked yourself that question? Because it's a disgrace for a woman to be raped. In this part of the world, she's stigmatized. If a woman is raped, her husband may even not marry her again if he discovers. No, they don't rape her. I can't marry this woman again. But if it happens to a man that the man was raped, would the woman divorce the husband? Equal rights, equal opportunities. That is what they are saying. But unfortunately, human beings in general are resistant to change.
Okay.
Unfortunately, some of the women have misunderstood gender equality.
Okay.
I must say that.
Okay.
And so in their home, they think gender equality is to rub shoulders with their husband or rub shoulder with the man. That is not what gender equality is all about. If a man can go to school, then a woman should also be given equal opportunities.
Okay.
If a man can be a medical doctor, the woman should read medicine too. They can also be doctors.
Okay.
Have we forgotten that they say what a man can do, a woman can also do better?
Okay.
Don't we all accept that slogan?
Yeah, we do.
So what is the difference today?
Yes.
If you say special seat for women, then I can query that. What do you mean by special seat? Because when you were reading the...
Yes.
You say special seat. When you say special seat, what do you mean by special seat? Can you define what you mean by special seat? Is it that they are reserved and they don't have to do election, they don't have to do anything, they just put them there because it's a woman?
No.
Then that is not equality. Because for a man to get there, they do election, they do all stuff. So if you call it special seat, what is your definition of special seat? There is nothing wrong with giving a percentage to women. After all, they are part of our society.
It's actually percentage I'm talking about.
Yes, they are part of our society. So if they give them 30%, what is wrong with that? Even if they give them 20%, what is wrong with that? I think they are humans. They are a lovely set of beings. They can also be nasty. So if you ask me, the women have taken it out of context. Like my friend here just said now.
Yes.
Because your husband wants to marry another woman, you stab the man, or you kill the man, or you poison the man. It's not right. Or your husband is talking to you at home, gender equality, how can you be talking to me like that? It's not right. Even for the Christians, the Bible says the man is the head of the house. And guess what? It said the woman should obey their husband as much as they obey Christ. That is the position God has placed man.
Yes.
However, the supportive role of a woman is welcomed. 30% is supportive. 50% competitive. I don't know where I get my point.
Yes, I get your point.
I will leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I like that. 30% is supportive. 50% is competitive. So I hope the women understand
and it becomes an unhealthy competition when some women take it out of context. They need to be educated.
Okay.
That's my point. I'll leave it at that.
Yes. But you have made a very valid point that for women to be regarded as supportive to men, they can be given percentage.
Yes.
So for the National Assembly, you can say this is a percentage for the National Assembly. For the House of Assembly, you can say this is a percentage for women in the House of Assembly. Is that not your point?
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's my point.
That's your point. Okay. Now it makes it interesting, and I know the women are watching. Yes, you can fight for your right. That's why Reverend Lou Adelugbe was chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress. They always fought for workers, and you want your demands, some of your demands from government. So it's nothing unhealthy for women to protest and agitate for what they think is right for them. So, but taking it further, Reverend, will you say the Senate should also follow suit with what the House of Reps has done by changing some of those decisions? Because Aisha Buhari, the woman you mentioned, was at the Senate, attended one of the plenary section at the Senate. The wife of the Vice President attended the plenary section at the House of Representatives to give support to these bills. But they were disappointed when during voting the men voted them out. So don't you think there's need to reconsider the stance of the National Assembly?
Well, let me tell you, nowhere in the world that an employer will make billions and ask the workers, come and take profit. You have to ask for it. You have to demand for it. You have to struggle for it. And this is what is happening now. The women were at the back seat. But they now saw that, no, they used us at the beginning.
Yes.
Any time you see campaign, you see women, they will mobilize their other women to make sure that this man get to wear that position.
Yeah.
Now they now know that it is not to make a king again. They don't really want to be a king. They want to be part of the palace. They want to be part of the system. And if you give them 30%, even that 30% is not free. They still have to contest for
amongst themselves.
And every political party will say A, B, C. They will bring names. They will contest for it. And then if there is anybody that is true, be part of the position. But you cannot. You are talking about killing. Out of about 100 people, we only have one case of killing a woman. Even in our homes, women have temper. Men too have the same temper. We see men that strangulated their wife because of temper. We cannot use that basis. And we should go back to women as an helper. Yes, Deborah was a woman. Other men could not come out. Deborah came out and led the war as a judge, and she was upright. We are talking about few people. Really, we have a lot of designers. What of men designing in men? That somebody will hear, we will hear men that put dollars on their account.
Under their account.
Yes, dollars.
I will not talk about those ones. We keep talking about the Zali.
We've seen governors that failed the tribunal. We've seen men that transfer their property to 18 years or 14 years old child. I mean, we have look at life in every state, like superb woman. Is she not a woman? But you can see the information of education in every state. You cannot just, the women are not, we can about 1 out of 1,000. Yes. But when we are talking about women about the right of a woman. When Christ died, where were the men? It's the same women that came and go and look and care. They care, and they will not eat to all their hands. Unlike we men, don't go to churches. How many people you see there? You see the men, maybe 5 men, and you see more than 35 women to make sure they care. The women will not loot the nation. So when I'm talking about out of 30, they will make the difference. I'm not saying that they should have 50-50. But what is clean on is religion. Because some believe what a man can do, a woman can do. But some they just say it for mouth. the woman, if you sit like this,
yes.
Some religious people, the woman you cannot sit.
Yeah, that's true.
So why can we continue like that? We like my comrade said now. In those days, you cannot be a woman. You cannot be a doctor. You must be a nurse. Those are in those days. But the present dispensation,
things have changed.
Things has changed, and we must change with time. Yeah. And how many men? What of people that are in prison today? The men of yesterday, even the same honorables, some of them go to the oversight section. Nothing there, they have collected money. Go to many governors. In the whole country of Nigeria, how many deputy governors? How many women used as a governor? No one. But you have about 2 or 3 of them are deputy governors. And they don't even come out unless you go and use them to address rally. We cannot continue like that. They are not, if a woman cannot destroy his own son, they care for their needs. And by the grace of God, there are many women that are richer than their husband, but they obey their husband. Now, like my wife called me my Lord. Okay, and God bless her too. Yeah. So it's not all women that are intoxicated with their riches. Some are humble, and they are meant to be a wife in the house. Some women till today, they cook for their husband and put their food in freezer. Yeah. Maybe if they are not there, they call their husband, please serve that if he comes. Yeah. So some women are humble, some women are honorable, some women, some of them are nasty, but we cannot. Because of a blind man, one person that is blind, we call it the country of blind. We cannot continue like that. They should give this woman a chance, these women. And if they fail, the Oyibo that make person, the same Oyibo that make a result. So that is
okay. Well, I can say that if we want to continue this discussion on the gender bill, we'll continue. But we have another topic to look at, and it's very important to the development of states and of course the country. It has to do with our preparations for the general election next year. As we prepare, a lot is happening. Political parties, some of them are having problems. The APC precisely, the governor of Niger State has openly addressed the press that he is now in charge of the critical committee of the APC. And the governor of Kaduna State has also supported the Niger State governor by saying, yes, he has the blessing of Mr. President. But the man that was there before actually traveled out for medical attention. He has not returned. Let's see if he comes back, if he's going to lead his own group to the APC National Secretariat in Abuja. That's that. Now for the PDP, in Edo State precisely, Governor Godwin Obaseki won his second tenure on the platform of PDP. So he's a PDP member. But let's just listen to him before my guests will talk about what is happening, what is rocking the PDP in Edo State.
Democratic Party. And the hallmark of any democratic institution is that majority of the members of that institution have their way. Democracy is about majority. Is it not? The minority in a situation cannot be the ones dictating to the majority.
The governor of Edo State also disclosed that the PDP national chairman Iyorchia Ayu will visit Edo State on 10th of March 2022 and urged leaders to bring along 5% of newly registered members to join him to receive the PDP national chairman.
We have said whatever the issues come to the table and talk. I heard that Chief Danobi went somewhere and was telling people that, as far as, I hope it's not the correct information.
Okay, that's Governor Obaseki. Let me just summarize what he has said. He actually addressed an enlarged meeting of political leaders from the PDP, from different local government areas, and he said that those who cannot obey him as their leader are free to leave. Now, that has generated reactions from the nook and crannies, not just in Edo State, in Nigeria. Some persons believe that, oh, he came into the PDP. Now he's making that kind of comment. But that's the governor. He's entitled to his comment, and my guests will dissect it for us. We'll start with Andre Aloa. Now, Governor Obaseki made that public statement. And the leader of the party, he said he's the leader of the PDP in Edo State. Those who don't recognize him that way, those who don't want to obey him, are free to leave. And some of these persons are the founding members of the PDP in Edo State.
Let me tell you one thing about politics.
Yes.
Before and after. Godwin Obaseki was not a PDP man. Now he's a PDP man. Constitutionally, the leadership of the party is bestowed on the governor. Whether he came in late or he came in yesterday, but that position, governor, is the leader of the party. Take it or leave it. Whether you are an older member or a younger member, respect the office. So there's nothing bad in the comment he had made. Because by trying to say, because he is the governor, he will not respect his office, he will not respect it, it's like it's a political tango there. They had other aspirants, they had other candidates, but they didn't win. He has won. Respect the office. I cannot concede my office to you. Governor is an office. It's an authority. He must respect that office.
But he's saying he's the leader of the PDP in Edo State. That's the issue.
If he is not the leader, who is the leader?
Okay.
You? Commissioner? Or senator? For God's sake, let us face reality. We are all politicians. Whether you like it or not, he knows what he's saying. As far as the party is concerned, the governor is the leader of the party. As far as APC as a party is concerned, President Muhammadu Buhari is the leader of the party. Not as an individual, as president. Not as an individual, as governor. Let us respect that fact. So, if you want to...
He met structure. When he came into the PDP, there was an existing structure.
And what do you mean that structure?
He has to also respect that structure.
Of course he has to. They work pari passu. You rub my back, I rub your back. But to tell me, oh, you are just a governor. Am I a ceremonial governor? I can't talk because I met a structure. We come, we harmonize, we discuss together, and we get somewhere. And let me tell you, if you say you want to rubbish the office of the governor, that structure that you met won't work. Let me tell you, it is the governor that appoints commissioners. It is the governor that appoints board members. Is it the structure? If you want to survive as a politician, respect authority. That's the only way the party can move forward, and you, as party faithfuls that have labored for the party, that will get something, so that your labor will not be in vain.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Nass, I can see you are itching to make your comments too. Looking at what is happening in the PDP now, Governor Obaseki is the leader of the PDP, but there seems to be some pockets of resistance.
Well, as a governor,
yes,
he's the head of the party.
Okay.
He is also the head of Edo State.
Okay.
He's the head of Edo. He's the #1 citizen in Edo State.
Okay.
Now, if I can recall his statements that they are quoting up and down, if you cannot accept or agree with my legacy, you are free to what? Step aside. That's a statement that people have taken out of context. It's a free will. What is legacy? Let's say, what do you say structure? What is legacy? A leader without a legacy is not a leader. If he comes and he has a legacy, and he discusses with you, these are my point, this is my legacy. It is either you agree with his legacy or you don't agree with the legacy. Give him reasons why you think those legacies are not good. And if he says, if you can't follow my legacy, you can step aside, he is telling you that you have a structure on ground. There is nothing wrong with modifying your structure for betterment of the party, for improvement, for progress. What are we not talking about? Hasn't there been harmonization? Can anybody oppose to that there's no harmonization? You take one person from old PDP, one person from new, in quote, old PDP, new PDP, take one person. Yeah. Is that not harmonization? Is that not trying to settle both sides?
But has it worked?
The question is, why is it not working? It is not because the governor doesn't know what he's doing. It's because of selfish interest on the part of some people. Inferiority complex. Fear of losing power can make people to just do things that are not really sensible. There's a structure on ground. The governor is here. Did he destroy the structure, or is trying to improve on already existing protocol? Did he just come and say, hey, no, go scatter everywhere, let's bring new people? No, he didn't do that. So what's the problem? What's the problem? I don't see anything wrong with that statement. If you can't follow my legacy, simple English, one of the problems we have in our country is illiteracy. People are not logical. People are not, they don't reason. We need progressive intellectuals to assess statements and not to turn them and use them against the country. If you do not accept my legacy, is the leader, for God's sake. I have a legacy.
Yeah.
If you don't accept my legacy, you are free. It didn't say you are sacked.
Okay.
Did he say you are sacked?
Okay.
You are free. Free will is what God has given to man. Free will. Therefore, he says you are free. What is he telling you?
Yes.
Think about it intelligently. If what I'm doing will not improve Edo State, and you feel to not improve it, give me your reasons. Even God that created man. God is what? The creator of the world. But at a point he said, come, let's reason together. Let's reason together. That is what the Obaseki is telling them. This is my legacy. Let's reason it out. However, if you say you don't like it, if you want to go, harmonization, we have done it. One for PDP, one for PDP, or a new PDP, in quote. PDP is one party. So what is this old and new? Is it a dispensation? What is the meaning of it? This is how division starts. Mentality is the problem. You say old PDP, new PDP. What is new? What is old? PDP is one party. It's one party. Okay, I want to ask a question. If Governor Godwin Obaseki, let's assume he was originally a PDP member. He didn't come from APC.
Okay.
And he has been there, a PDP member. And he makes a statement like this, as a governor, would they oppose? I can tell you they will not oppose it. You see, the mentality they have now, it will just come from nowhere, yesterday here, and they want to come and start telling us what to do. No! For God's sake.
But don't you think that's what's playing out?
That is what is playing out. That is the point. It's coming out from another place. That is what they are reasoning. That is the way they reason it. That is not exactly what is playing out. Do you see Godwin Obaseki like a dictator? He's a reasonable man. He's an intelligent man. He's educated. He's educated. He's not a dictator.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Dr.
Yes,
Edosa.
thank you.
Let's get the thoughts of Reverend Luadirigbe. You have seen it all. You see what's playing out now, and it seems to be a crisis. What's your take?
Well, politicians, they are not worth dying for. The example, Oshomole was there. He condemned, he said, Yamu as a thief. The same man came back, continued to talk with his mouth in different manners. Now, let's look at the statements. One, we must find the cause of effect than curing after effect. We must find out why. What's the cause? Why that statement? Yes, it was one, is an intelligent man, and God has used him as a governor to appeal for the betterment of the state more than before. But something, no leader wants to surrender his leadership. But what is the cause? Those that change with him, we are going to join this party, and they have all joined. They're supposed to be one. The matter of old and new.
He didn't come.
But something is happening. Greed. That is slogan of politicians. I before order. We are the members here. Yes, it's normal. Flesh is allowed. But the statement as a leader, look at the ark. In the ark, when God asked Noah, lion, tiger, snake, rat, everybody were there. Nobody fought each other. They obeyed. That man is the leader of the party today. And the sharing of the post of recent time, I did not see any old and new system there. Everybody were put together. But what is wrong is what is wrong. Who they call thief? We never play with goat picking. Where you were coming from, there was this type of statement. And where you are now, the same state, you cannot say, it's a father. You cannot say everybody polite, let it go. That statement is not a pleasant one. I think that's the area I really correct with. You can still, it's a good negotiator. You can still continue until he gets that message to the people. Because for a change, it's not easy. I've been in a place, but before it came, where is the PDP? Nobody will know about them, but they are not as popular. But by the time it came, the PDP enjoying the grace of God in him, and everybody now want to be. Nobody want to, can you identify with a madman? Because if they have already finished with him, so the moment you have success, they are featuring you, they'll be attacked. But ability to, I think the temper of the government should be checked. That statement is not palatable. If anybody can go, everybody go. Who remains? And let me tell you, both the old and new as so-called, they are all docketing for 2023. Not for, it's for their personal and selfish end. Let the man continue to do what he's doing, progress of the road and all that thing. But you should not allow the distractions in this issue. But that statement, anybody can go, it's not a welcome one.
Okay.
Let them continue to go ahead and educate them. Somebody that have been licking soup, according to some people, they ask for like to come and eat. So those who have been licking soup and the soup is no more coming, you will react, hunger they keep it. So let them appeal to them.
Yes.
Thank God, I think their national chairman
is in town.
Is in town. They can be able to, if there is no disagreement, there will be no agreement. They will still come together. Nobody wants to fail. And nobody wants to associate with a loser. So I think let them still continue to talk politically. Their matter, you cannot just trust politicians. But what if you have vibrated today, tomorrow you will see them, tomorrow licking dust. So,
okay.
But what really I quarrel with, anybody can go. If anybody had money, you will not meet anybody there.
Okay.
And the Bible says, if the foundation is destroyed,
Yes.
what would the righteous do? So
Okay.
there's foundation. Even though the foundation of the house is not seen outside. Okay? So those who taught their foundation member, they should have the ability also to carry the load. So let them respect the governor for who is as the leader. Their constitution says the governor is the leader of the party. Basic.
Okay.
But let the governor be careful of his utterances.
Okay.
And he should not be arrogant in this issue.
Thank you
You have
very
to
much.
calm down.
Okay. Andre, I keep wanting to say Tigala. That's why I'm really forcing. Now, what's the way forward?
Let me tell you, politics is dynamic, especially in this part of the world, Africa. We are still growing. situations like this are bound
to happen.
It must happen. Sharing power. There are two issues here.
Yes.
Power and sharing formula. That is what is causing problem. And you can never solve it 100%. You will solve it halfway, you will go. It will still continue in the next dispensation. Well, like I told the APC then, when they were having similar crisis, I told them, Godwin Obaseki is not an ordinary person. You people should manage him for the next 4 years, or you will lose him and lose this state. They are listening to me now. You will lose him and APC will lose this state. They thought I was lying. Immediately after the election, I started getting calls. Tigana, yes, this is politics. Same applies to PDP right now. They've suffered for more than 12, 13 years. They, being in the opposition, a real politician, like a Republican Democrat, when you are in the opposition, especially in Africa, where you are a real politician, that's where you feed from.
Yes.
Go and stay in the opposition. And you know what it means to suffer.
You know the definition of hunger.
Hunger. Now they've won. Why
Yes.
can't you manage the sources? And rub minds so that things will go. Obaseki is not going for third term. Mind you, he just has just 1 term to go. And he's the leader of the party. You don't want to recognize that. You know that you can be hungry within 6 months, you will die. If you don't manage your poverty. It's like elephants. When we were contesting, they tell you governance is like elephants. Everybody will eat and eat, it will still be there, but with good mind. Old PDP or the new PDP, they should calm down and accept the governor as the leader of the party. It is stipulated in the constitution.
Yes.
Respect the office so that everybody can be carried along. You can't rubbish my office.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Dosa, the way forward, closing remarks now. The way forward
Well,
on this crisis.
The way forward for the crisis is for everybody to follow suit. If what the governor is saying is reasonable, because before the governor will say a thing like that, he has tried everything within his power, within his resources, within his intelligence. And these people are still resisting. You see, human beings generally are resistant to change, even if it's going to be beneficial, because some or most of them are short-sighted. Sometimes what the governor can see far away, they not able to see it. He has been in administration even before he became governor.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Yeah, that's correct.
For God's sake, administration is left for experts. He's an administrator. He was in APC, he did well. He has come to PDP to rescue PDP in Edo State, in court. After all, what was PDP before he came? They should respect the office, reason together with him, and bring all these things to an end. PDP is one party, and the governor is the head of the party. As simple as that.
Okay, thank you. Reverend, your closing remark.
Well, I think I want to join my colleagues
Okay.
in this area. But who are the politicians? Do we still have people like Osadebe? Do you still have people like Awolowo? Do you still have people like that? Good politicians, reliable politicians. The patriots, they don't change party. And they defend their party to the end. If actually the PDP appreciate this governor, they won't mind. What they will be looking for, how we can retain
Progress.
power.
Yes. Simple. Progress.
Not what I want to eat.
What I want to eat.
Because when you eat today, it will run you out. That is what is happening to APC that has no foundation. From beginning, go and look at the state, the national chairman of APC. Right away before Yegun and after Yegun, it has been wounding and destructions. Till today, they cannot make it through. So if by the grace of God, we enjoy this grace, it's a grace that we have people like Godwin Obaseki in that party. What is it? Is the celebration. You can manage, you can swallow your pride. It's not fattening. Whatever we are, you have been foundation member. If there is no block, the foundation will step up. Let them cooperate with the governor. But let the governor mind his utterances and temper.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you very much. That's the program for this week. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. And my discussants have made very, very vital, valuable comments. And I believe that those of you watching, you've benefited. Next week, we'll be looking at another topic. We'll be bringing another set of guests to dissect it. Andre Galoa, aka Tigala, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
And Dr. Dosa Richard, how are you going to cope? Medical doctor and a politician, really?
Yeah, well, you just said it.
Yes.
Anybody who has the...
So anybody can be a politician.
Anybody can be a politician.
Yeah.
Saraki is a doctor.
Delta State. This is the doctor.
Okay.
The governor before this one was a medical doctor.
Saraki himself, the Senate president.
Medical doctors do well as politicians.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Okay, they are used to the people.
Thank you for that. You know why? Because medical doctors have passion.
Okay.
We have seen people die. We have seen people live. We do everything we can to save lives. We have seen blood.
But reduce your bill.
Passion is there.
It's all right. Yes. I just want to know how the medical doctor really copes as a politician. And that's interesting. Thanks for being a part of this week's edition of 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egosa Agbola. Bye-bye.